Are you looking for love? Are you craving a real connection? Are you sick of the games? Then stop playing them. You might not even realize all of the games that you play, but you probably are. So it's time to look at the way that you act, the way that you talk, how you present yourself, and see if the little games are popping up in there. So here are 10 things that you can do to help you find a real connection that might even help you find the one instead of just another someone. But, you know, if you are just looking for someone, if you're practicing dating, or if you are looking to get to know yourself or expand yourself and you aren't ready for the one yet, that's okay. You can still use these no game tips to find love, because that's how you really, really understand and get to know someone. So screw the games. And number one, screw the list. That list of must-haves that are so long of all the things that you think you need in a relationship that are keeping you in this box. Well, where did this list come from? From your family, your friends, society, yourself? That is a game in and of itself. You are creating paper perfect. But really, what is paper perfect? That has nothing to do with chemistry. It has nothing to do with the things that actually matter oftentimes. So screw the list. Throw it away, burn it, get rid of it. Number two, screw tall, dark, and handsome, or blonde, buff, and blue-eyed, or whatever it is that you find sexy, because that looks-based attraction is also so superficial. It is a game. Who are you trying to impress? Your friends? Do you just want man candy? No, you want something real, something substantive, something that makes you feel good. Close your eyes. Have a conversation with him. Can you still have a conversation, or is it like, do you have to actually be looking at him and just drooling about how hot he is and then showing your friends, oh my God, look how hot he is? Who cares, okay? If he makes you feel good, if he feeds your soul, if he challenges you and engages your brain and replenishes you, if he is that person who is your go-to, that's what you need, all right? Get out of this box that you are creating. Okay, number three, reach out. If you see someone who you're interested in, whether it's in person or online, it's okay for you to be the first person to reach out. I know, okay, there are people, a lot of people, dating coaches and all of these people who say that the girl should not reach out first. You know what? Screw it. You can reach out first. That's okay. You can be fun and flirtatious and engaging. Guys like that. Guys like to know that a girl has chutzpah, that she can take care of herself. That is actually very sexy for guys. And then allow them to take the next step of asking you on the actual date. But you can be the one who reaches out in a fun and witty way. All right, number four, flirt. Flirting is such an incredible thing within a relationship and also before the relationship. It's so fun. It gives you those butterflies. Be witty. Be sassy. Have that verbal joust. That is sexy. You can also flirt over text, but only if you have established a date already. So if you know we're going out next Saturday, then start text flirting. That's okay. Not sexting, flirting. Big difference. Also, you can even send flirty photos. Guys like to see photos because it sort of makes them feel special. It's a little bit more intimate. Not sexy photos, flirty photos. It's saying, I took this photo just for you, of me right now, so you can see what I look like when I'm casual, or whatever it is. It allows them to see another side of you, because you probably want photos too. But guys are very visual creatures, so they oftentimes like photos. But again, not sexy photos. I mean, a little bit sexy is okay, but no nudity, okay? No nudity. Number five, go out on a whim. If a guy asks you out on Friday, for Friday, go. Be spontaneous. Why do you have to play the game of, I'm so busy, I don't have time, I'm like, my social schedule is so crazy? A guy doesn't like that, okay? Because if you're already so booked up all the time, well, how are you ever going to have time for him? How are you going to be able to make time in your schedule for a relationship if you are completely booked up? I mean, how do you think that looks? He probably imagines that you're going on a date every night. But regardless, it's okay for you to be available on a Friday night. Who cares? On a Saturday night, fine. It's not okay if he's calling you for a booty call. Okay? But if it's a real date, if it's a dinner, if it's drinks, if it's an activity, fantastic. Go. Be spontaneous. It also shows him that you aren't that high maintenance girl. And it's putting away all those crazy games. Okay. Number 6, get raw. And on the first date. And by that I mean stay away from, or don't only talk about safe subjects. It's not just about your job, or that you like beaches, or your dog. Say things that are substantive, that actually matter to you, because the purpose of a first date is to actually get to know each other, right? It's to know who you are, what your core values are. So tell stories around your core values. If your core values are family and faith and passion and travel, well, why? Tell a story about travel, but tell it with some purpose of what you actually did, and you understood. You went into the back alleys and you really got to know the community, and you met the locals and you ate their food, and this is what you learned from them. This is the takeaway, okay? Substantive conversations. When you tell a story like that, they will then tell a story similarly to you. So you're basically setting the tone for the conversation. If you stay on safe subjects, surface subjects, the guy will too. But if you actually go a little deeper, he will too. And the conversation will be better and more interesting, and he and you will both walk away saying, wow, that was a great date. And if there wasn't a connection, that's okay, because you learned something. You still had a good time. Okay, number 7. Fly your red flags on the first date. Now the reason is that, now I don't want you to fly all red flags, but some of them, because if it's a red flag that is a serious red flag, like it is a deal breaker for them, it is a non-negotiable, then that's something that you should know. So if you've been married, tell them you've been married. But don't say, I've been married. Okay, it's on the table. Have fun with that. It's, I've been married. I'm not proud of the fact that I got a divorce, but this is why, and this is what I've learned from it. So it's make the statement, then give the lesson and the takeaway, and express your feelings around it too. So it's not just like, here's the red flag, go, because that's how they get the red flags, okay? That's how red flags are scary, is if you don't show that you learned from it, and that you're better, stronger, more evolved, whatever it is, person because of that flag, okay? Number 8, be vulnerable. So this is taking that getting raw and red flags to a whole deeper level. This is when you're actually exposing something about yourself, something that matters, something that maybe you're ashamed of or not proud of, something that really hurt you. You don't have to cry. This is not a Debbie Downer conversation. This is not like a I hate everything and everyone hates me conversation, but just one little thing. And again, what you learned from that. The reason is that if you set the tone by being vulnerable, he will then most likely be vulnerable as well. And now you've connected on a much deeper level. When your heart's open like that, that's when you have a real honest connection. And that is where you can establish a foundation at a much more intense level. And that's how you really grow a relationship of depth, right? When you build a tall building, what do you do first? You go down. You dig the foundation. And this is a great way to do that, by getting vulnerable. And the guy has probably never shared this information with anyone. So he walks away feeling like he was really into you, because wow, he shared something that he's never shared before, and he must really trust you, and you must really trust him. And now, you've already established something. You've had that heart connection. Okay, number 9, if you like him, tell him. On the date, if you like him, say, I'm having a great time. I really like this. Like, I really like you. I'm so glad we went out. After the date, if you had a great time, text him right after, like immediately. Thank you so much. That was so fun. I loved talking about this. I look forward to seeing each other again. Don't say, let's make plans for next Tuesday. But if you're just putting it out there of, I'd love to see you again, you're already saying, if you ask me, I'm saying yes, okay? Because guys are nervous. They don't want to be rejected. They also want to know that they're doing something right. Guys like positive reinforcement just like women do. So if you say, I really like you, that makes him feel good about himself. Don't play the game of like, I don't want to let him know that I like him. Come on, really? Let him know. Tell him you like him, just like you would want to know if he liked you, okay? Don't like shower him with it, but say it a couple of times, and that's it. Put it out there. Number 10, the most important thing, be yourself. Be your quirky, sassy, sarcastic, funny, edgy, cerebral, intellectual, movie buff, whatever, comedian self, okay? Be you, whoever you are. Just be careful with the sarcasm, because sometimes it can come across as bitchy, which you don't mean to do. But if someone doesn't know your sarcasm, then that's the only thing. But aside from that, and the comedy, if you're super if you use comedy as a front and to get away from real topics, then be careful with that too. Because again, this is about being real. This is not about playing games, but be yourself. Because if you're putting up this front of who you think they want you to be, you know, I think they want me to be this person, so that's how I'm going to perform. You're not a puppet. And they're going to find out eventually who you actually are. And the fact is, they're probably quirky and interesting too. So show them that you are. And at the end of the date, it's those little cute, quirky things that they're going to remember, okay? It's that verbal jousting. It's that wittiness. It's that makes you stand apart from the pack. So those are 10 ways for you to stop playing games and possibly even finally find the one.